Oh, come on.
And I mean, and I kind of, when you did that top 5 weirdest games,
Yeah.
somebody on Facebook commented about it, and they're like, yeah, there's not games like that anymore. All the innovation is in like the indie space.
Yeah.
Which maybe it's true. I mean, but maybe that's kind of, again, that's how everything is. The big blockbuster Hollywood movies are just like reliably like safe and enjoyable, and then there's like indie movies.
Right.
So there's just, people just aren't gonna spend $100 million on like a Space Channel 5 anymore.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
And I don't think that's necessarily like, well, fuck video games now. They're, it's, the death of the industry and all that kind of stuff.
Right. By the way, that top 5 weirdest games that I made.
Yeah.
Have you played any of those games? Like, did you play Mr. Mosquito? I feel like that's a game that you might have played.
I always wanted to.
Yeah.
That was always on my like, and
it's
I just
so
never.
Weird
I never quite picked it up, and I feel like now it's probably like overpriced on like the secondhand market.
Right.
And I always wanted to play Seaman. That's definitely on my game of like my like Dreamcast wish list of Dreamcast games I want.
That to me, that's the one that really gets me. Like, how is that a thing?
Well, and that's one of the things that was so great about the Dreamcast and about Sega during that era is they just didn't give a shit. Like, for a game like that to come to America, it's like, what?
Right. And like Leonard Nimoy was like the narrator.
Yeah.
Like, not even the voice of the guy.
No.
Like the seaman. Just some weird narrator.
I did play Revolution X in the arcade once, and it's a strange ass game.
Yeah, it is.
And
like, I feel like there's definitely weirder games out there than some of the ones on that list, but like, I went for like games that are like, how did this get made? Like, why does this exist? Kind of weird.
Well, and the thing with lists is you always have to rein it in.
Right.
You kind of have to narrow it down to like weirdest, mainstream games.
Right.
You start including like Japanese games and like every fucking indie game that's ever been made. You can't narrow it down to 5. You can't.
Right. And if I had just gone with Japanese games, like they're all weird and they're weird in weird ways. Like Or the other thing that I found when I was doing research was like just really not so much weird as just off color and like a Columbine shoot 'em up simulator.
Yeah. There's a lot of that weird stuff.
Or like Virginia Tech. First-person shooter, like come on, like that's not weird so much as it's just really like off color and just doesn't need to exist kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then obviously not even speaking about like the weird porn games.
Well, yeah, right. Or all those weird like religious games where you have to like save people.
Yes. Yeah. There was one weird Christian game that I found in there somewhere that was like some kind of dinosaur racer. Something like that. What? I don't even know. Speaking of which, there's a game that just came to Steam that I think that we need to play. It's called like Hatoful Boyfriend. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's like some weird Japanese RPG/dating simulator where you're a person who goes to school, but you go to school with like animals.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. Like, we'll have to look it up. Hatoful boyfriend. Hatoful boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that. That sounds amazing.
Yes. It seems like totally up our alley. Up your alley.
That's right. I'll put something up your alley.
What's that? Okay, I gotta go find a captain. Come on now. Quit fucking around. Here we go. Mormog the Mindless. We're gonna kick his ass. Kick his ass, Seabass!
What?
From Dumb and Dumber.
Oh. Dude, speaking of which.
Yes.
So, do you know what I'm about to ask you, right?
I have a feeling, but go for it.
What? Sequel is really a thing? Like, I mean...
Yeah, apparently it is. Why does that exist?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because neither one of them need to make that movie,
no,
obviously.
No. There we go. Vulnerable to combat finishers. Okay. Stealth finishers. Okay, I'm gonna stealth this fucker. Watch this shit. And then you can get you can attract guys over to you with your weird wraith powers.
By showing them your boobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now you done fucked up, son. Mormog the Mindless.
So is this one of those games where you can kind of stat yourself so you're more stealthy, or you just kind of everything just kind of is just badass all around?
No, you can definitely stat yourself to be one thing or the other, and you probably will benefit from doing that. I'm not far enough into it yet that matters that much. I don't have enough ability points or whatever.
Now it seems like when you're near a captain, it just kind of triggers a cutscene.
Yes.
So that means there's no sneaking up on him or anything like that.
No, I snuck up on the last one. It's if they see you, it triggers it. So you can still stealth kill them, and it won't trigger the cutscene. But if they see you, they'll definitely. Oh, I need to run away and heal because they're gonna kill me.
So I was all kind of indifferent about that.
Oh, here we go. There's another asshole. Yeah.
I was all indifferent about that Zelda game that's
The Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't pissed off that it was a thing.
Now, is that actually made by the Dynasty Warriors people?
Yes.
Okay.
And and that's why they didn't Nintendo didn't let them call it put Zelda in the title, just to make it clear this is not a core Zelda game.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't pissed off that it existed. How dare they? But I wasn't super excited about it.
Yeah.
And then, we were at Target the other day, and there was a kiosk for it. I'm like, I'll give this a shot. And within 10 seconds, I'm like, yeah, I'm on board.
Really?
Yeah, just the idea of playing a game like that and as Link, yeah, I could probably get behind that.
Dude, people hate those fucking games.
I'm pretty easy with that stuff. Yeah, I don't know why.
I like those games.
Yeah, they're mindless and stupid, but so what?
Right. You kill a gazillion dudes.
I know.
You're so badass.
The 20 seconds I played it, I probably killed 400 people.
Right.
I did my charge up sword attack, and it was like the Burly Brawl in the Matrix.
Right.
10 guys just flew in all directions.
Right.
How is that not satisfying?
Right. And yeah, you're right. They are completely mindless. Fuck you. So that's how you live, is you have to it puts that red circle around that's filling up, and you have to move your cursor into it and then press the correct button in enough time. And it doesn't move very fast, so it's not really very easy to do it. It's definitely not my favorite feature of this game.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's I'm nitpicking dumb shit now.
Now, again, I mean, maybe you don't know this yet, but so is that overworld map you brought up, is that it? Or is it Assassin's Creed where there's maybe another city after this? Or is this pretty much it?
I believe this is it.
It's fine if it is. I'm just curious.
I believe this is it only because you're in Mordor killing all these orcs. So I would have to believe that this is where you're at, is just Mordor.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I mean, it probably doesn't matter that this is it, because this is the kind of game that you're supposed to get into by just killing shit and leveling up and whatnot, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And then actually, I forgot to show you this. So there's 2 different ways you level up, right? So these are your ability points, which I don't have any to spend right now. But these will actually give you things to do, right? Kind of how in Batman you get different combos and gadgets and shit.
Yeah.
But then you also have more traditional stats,
okay,
which here's more health. You were asking me about stealthing and stuff.
Yeah.
So here's more health, here's more arrows.
Okay.
Here's more focus, which is slows down time. And then there's also, this is how many runes you can have in your sword, how many runes you can have in your bow, and how many runes you can have in your daggers. And I'll show you that really quick because that's pretty cool too. So this is your rune slots. I have 2 unlocked out of 5 for my sword. And as you kill captains, they all drop different runes. Sometimes it's for your sword, sometimes for your bow or your dagger. And the runes all give you other little added benefits. Increases melee damage by 15% at high hit streak levels.
Okay.
Recover 6% health doing a flurry kill. So there's all kinds of different stuff you can put in your weapon, and it seems like the more powerful the captain, the more powerful the rune. So you could have the same rune, only if it was a higher level, it would probably increase your damage by more than just 15%.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's like, it seems deceptively deep in terms of like all the different shit that you can level up and get into.
Now, the thing I wonder is, I most likely, just with my play style, I feel like if I played this game, I would probably play it until like I did everything.
Yeah.
And then kind of be done. Like, I don't see myself, and I wonder if it's enough of a game, if there's enough of a game there to play it that way. Like, just play it straight, and like maybe it takes me like 7 or 8 hours, and then like I'm good. Like, I wonder if it's built that way.
Right. Like, you just want to play through the story and be done with it?
Right. Play through the story. And, like, you know, when I played Assassin's Creed, I do every little mission.
Right.
So, I mean, I would at least, like, every little icon on the map, I would, like, tick it off until it was gone.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't see myself, like, just continually, like, maxing shit out, because that's just not how I play.
I don't see this game being that way at all. I don't see it as having, like, you have to max out or anything. In fact, I'm not even like really that far into it, and I feel like it's as much skill based as it is like leveling up and stat based.
Yeah, which I definitely like. You know, it's like, as you probably gathered, that's kind of my problem with games where you kind of auto battle.
Right.
Is I like my skills to matter, like my finger dexterity to matter.
Right. Not how much dexterity is on your chest armor.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I get that. And again, this game kind of... Did you see that guy like have a seizure?
Yes.
This game kind of feels that way. Like, if you're good at the fighting, then you could probably beat the game a lot faster without leveling up as much than if you, like, just are a bad player.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm fine with a game like... Say like Batman, where you're a badass, but you don't work that hard to be a badass.
Right.
But you're still doing something.
Right.
Like, I'm fine with a game fooling me into thinking I'm more of a badass than I am. Like, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
I know some people kind of gripe about shit like that. Like, well, the game might as well just play itself.
Right.
Like, oh, it's too easy.
Right. Well, like, right here, I'm fighting this captain. Effectively, all I'm doing is pressing X.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's like, it's fine.
Did you ever play Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning or whatever?
I like
Is that
game
great?
Yeah, I think so.
It's such a shame because everybody said that game was great, but it's impossible to separate it from all the politics of it now.
Right, and all the crazy bloody sock fucking Kurt Schilling bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah. God, that was such a weird situation.
And it was so, I mean, it started out with so promising, like, he's like a legit gamer, he's pouring his real money into this, he would like go on Conan and show the game off, and you were like, dude, finally, like, a celebrity that's like not gonna dick us around, and he like gets it.
Right.
No, that's not what happened at all.
And I was really, that was like at the height of like my playing WoW. Yeah. And so there was this WoW podcast that I used to listen to a lot.
Because there was eventually going to be an MMO, right?
Yeah.
That was like the appetizer.
Yep. And he would go on this like WoW podcast, and like, cause he was a big WoW fan, and like, so he would talk WoW and like talk about his game and all this other shit. And yeah, like, he seemed like this super genuine guy.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily believe he was ever ingenuine. I just believe the project like spiraled out of control, and like, just because you're a baseball player doesn't mean that you know how to run a successful business.
Well, right, and it's hard to know. I mean, it's like, you know, I don't know enough about business or enough about the details of the story, and I guess none of us do.
Right.
To know if anything shady happened. Right. If they deliberately were like trying to, you know, whatever with money, or if, like you said, they just mishandled it horribly.
Right. I feel like, I mean, I don't know a lot of the details either.
And then, like, the state of Rhode Island, like, lent them money.
Yeah.
It's just, the whole thing is so strange.
I think that was the biggest part that people locked onto, was, like, this idea that they had taken government money. Because what was it? It was, like, Rhode Island wanted more small businesses to, like, come there and like because Rhode Island's such a small state and all this stuff, and so they were going out of their way to try and get businesses to come there, gave them this grant or whatever it was, and then they like didn't do like they just squandered it.
Yeah. Because they made a game that to make a game like that it costs like $100 million to make.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, like that game is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games that like every now and then like I check like the cheap shelf at like Target or like Best Buy to see if I can catch it for like $20 because I would definitely like to pick it up someday.
It's there's so much to do in that game too. Like I have that game and I have all the DLC.
Yeah.
And there's just such ton of shit there. And that's a game that like Carrie doesn't like a lot of single player games. Like she'll pretty much play The Sims and then she'll play like MMOs and shit.
Right.
She played that game like 5 times.
Really?
Like beat the game and then like made a new character and played it through like a completely different way. Like instead of being a spellcaster, like use swords or went stealth or whatever. Like yeah, she loved that game. She was the one who got me into that game. So,
oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, it is such a shame that happened too because I would love to see a sequel or at least that team do something else. Just because that whole idea had so much promise. Fuck.